Hello, we have made it to day 11. Thank you so much for joining me. We don't need any equipment today for the workout. However, we are going to do for mobility this week, we are going to be doing some rolling. So if you have a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, or if you have a legitimate mobility type of kit with a bunch of different balls, sometimes they have them stuck together. You can put two tennis balls in a sock. Um, Whatever kind of adds up to give you the release and more flexibility and mobility in the joints that you want, that's what you're going to use. So sometimes softer is better, sometimes harder is better. The cross ball is a little bit tougher than a tennis ball. And then also, if you are not a planker, if you don't go onto your arms, have a mini band handy. I would suggest a lighter one. You're going to be using it on your arms. So we are going to start off rolling into the glutes. So just lie on your back on your mat and lift your hips and set that ball right underneath your kind of upper outer glute area. And then from there, it's kind of up to you where you want to go with it. So you can extend the leg, that puts a little bit more pressure on it, roll up and down and around. You can stay on your back. You can also kind of lift up. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but just getting a little bit into that glute. My glutes were sore from our Friday session. If you do it on Friday, day 10, doesn't really matter what day you do it, obviously. But this is feeling good up in that higher outer edge. Okay, go ahead and sit up if you're not already. Use your hands for some support and try to roll a little bit lower so the ball would go a little bit more toward your hamstring. And easy does it. Whatever kind of feels like a good hurt. It's not going to feel awesome maybe. And sometimes it's best just to sit. In fact, that's what I'm going to do now. Sit on the ball and then move your extremity, so our leg, in and out from there. Go a little bit more on this side, and then we're going to switch to the other. All right, so take your ball, put it underneath your other glute. I'm going to put it under my right now. Let's start on that higher outer edge. I'm going to lie back down. And then if it feels good to extend the leg, great, go for it. Just feel kind of, you can feel where it feels a little more tender. So this is trying to bring a little bit more pliability and flexibility and movement, hydration into your fascia, right? So your fascia is what encases the muscle. I kind of think of a sausage casing. Well, the less that you kind of move it around and do this sort of work, massage or self-release like this, then the more rigid it gets. So then whenever you try to go and move it or stretch it, it's like an old starched shirt. It's gotten stiff, or like an old towel that you hung out in the sun. And you pick it up and it's just stiff. That's what's going on with your fascia. So this is going to help release it. It should help over time. I mean, one day of this stuff isn't going to change your life. But if you do about 5 to 10 minutes a day, can actually be more beneficial and help more than stretching. At least that's what some professionals claim. Definitely worth the shot. All right, we're going to flip over and go into the hip flexor area. So face your mat, and you're going to be coming down with the ball. Let's lay down first, and then set your ball underneath your pelvis, right where kind of the leg starts to enter into your pelvis, and just roll around in there. And then again, especially if you have tight hip flexors, you'll feel it. Goes up pretty high. Roll around in there. If you find a tender spot, stay there, and then maybe even try lifting that back leg, or you can bend. So flex the leg in and then push it back. Roll a bit over onto the side. If it feels good down that quad a bit. So mine actually, I feel it more up higher. So if I get the ball kind of a little bit more up into my low abdominal area, but still on the side, I'm feeling that. All right, let's switch to the other side. Okay, so what we're doing today is we are going to take what we worked on last week, slow, very focused movements with the weight, and adding into that weak side. And then we're going to kind of up it just a little bit, focusing more on our stability with body weight movements, the core, the glutes, and then at the end up our heart rate, our intensity just a bit. And that's where your band will come in. Keep the core engaged. Stay strong on those, kind of flexed into the glutes. All right, and let's come up from there. Go ahead and just hinge back into your child's pose. Curl the toes under for me so you can stretch to the bottoms of the feet. Also this week, our challenge, right? So we are adding in kind of some just health and wellness challenges. So trying to walk or do some sort of movement for a mile each day. Focus on getting plenty of water. Make sure you're hydrating. And then this week is building a healthy morning routine. Okay, so lie over on your back on your mat. Real quick, cross your right ankle over the left knee. Put your arms out in a T and let your hips or your feet drop to the left. So building a healthy morning routine, right? So getting up, you could do a little bit of this rolling mobility work, drinking water first thing as opposed to coffee, maybe taking a few deep breaths, even stepping outside, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, fresh air. Okay, we're swapping to the other side. Put your hips over to the right. I journal in the morning myself. I have the same water, coffee, and dry granola every morning. And then what you do from there, like as far as your fitness or movement, meditation, hug those knees into the chest. Okay, so what we're going to do is 10 reps of 5 rounds of 2 different exercises. So to start us off, we're going to go with our glute bridges. So push those hips up, push into the feet, pull the feet back toward the shoulders. So you want a lot of flexion into those glutes. We want to keep the hips super duper level, the core super duper strong, right? So you want to feel the underneath side of those hamstrings engage. The underneath side of those thighs. Flex through the core, keeping the hips level, right? We want that stability in the low back. Pull the left knee up into the chest. Keep it there if you find that your hips are dragging and sagging, right? If that left hip is dragging. Otherwise, push it out and pull it in. We're going to go 10 here. 3. Stay focused on those hips. You want them to stay level. Now you know why we rolled out those glutes to start with. 7. So what's going on with that moving leg is just as important as what's going on in the supporting pushing leg. Here's 10. Pull it back in, set it down, lift that other side up. Knee crunches into the chest. Keep those hips up, nice and level. My core temperature just went way up higher than it was a minute ago. If you're flexing enough muscles, the moving leg, the supporting leg, then you're definitely going to get there. Super heated. Get into the core, get into the back, keep those hips level. 3 more. And then we're going to go into a supported side plank with a lateral leg extension. Last one. Tuck it in tight. Set the foot down first, then lower the hips. Okay, so we're going to roll onto your left hand and left knee. If you need to, you can lean on a wall. Okay, so if a supported side plank doesn't work for you here, you lean on a wall or you can stand. Okay, so you can lean here, just find the position. We're going to be lifting that top leg. Build in self-resistance. Okay, so 10 here each side. Open the hips. You can take that hand and check and make sure that there's no sway in that low back. Lift and lower that top leg. As much going on in the front of the abdomen as what's going on in those glutes. The lower leg is pushing and holding and supporting. Flex the toe on that top leg. 2 more. And make sure that you're pulling through that upper outer glute. If you need to, if this is too much on your wrist, you can go onto your elbow, but you've got to get that open plank position, right? Flexing through that foot, push the hips forward. The hips are going to want to hinge back. Drive them forward. 7, 8, open the chest, strong core. 10. Okay, we're going to lie on our back, going back into those glute bridges. That was 1. We have 4 more rounds. Drive the hips up. Tuck the knee in. Push it out straight. Keep the hips level. 5. Get into that left supporting glute. 9. 10. Pull it all the way back in, then set it down. Pull that knee up. If you're losing that hip on the lifting side, so now our left side, if it's dropping once you extend, then just keep your knee in and you'll hold still and switch when I switch. Drive through that right glute. Last 3. So still sliding those shoulder blades down. Check in with that upper back. Last one. Tuck the knee in. Drop. Lower those hips. Okay, either standing, supporting on a wall, or elbow, or hand. Your bottom knee's down because you're building stability still in that lower leg. Lift and lower. Lift through that heel. 3, 4. Front of the belly strong. The lower leg is strong. Push the upper back to lift. Last one. Okay, flip it over, other side. Set up that foundation. Push the hips toward the front. Flex and go. If you're not feeling much in that bottom supporting leg, you're not doing it right. So lift up. Stay flexed. That top leg should be feeling heavy by now. 2 and 1. Don't worry about how high you get it. Keep that low back stabilized and core really strong. Okay, set 3. Into those glutes. I'm going to pull my left leg in. Keep the hips level. Push and pull. Envision that you have a big rubber band that you're pushing and pulling against. So you need to create resistance. Don't just flop your leg around. Flex in. Pull it in tight. Set it down. Tug that knee in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Feel that quad contract on that pushing leg. 8, 9, 10. So my hip pops in that position every time I get it straight. Doesn't cause any pain. It's just something that the body does. A lot of times if that happens for you, don't worry about it. You're good. Keep the core going strong. Here's 5. Flex a lot. Lift the chest. 9, 10. Make sure you're holding that core. You must support the low back. Other side. Elbow, hand, or wall. Slide shoulder blades back and down. Core nice and strong. That second side's the killer. 2 1. All right, 2 sets left. Lift the hips, slide those shoulder blades down. Pull that knee in, and then push the leg out. 5, focus on keeping those hips level. Core strong. 9, 10. Pull the knee in first, extend and tuck. 2. Stay in charge. Check in with that neck. Mine was kind of starting to grab. How many muscles can you contract? 2 more. 10. Lower the hips. Come up, hand, elbow, or the wall. Biggest thing, push those hips forward. Here we go. 4. Ooh, this is much harder this round. 8, 9, 10. Other side. Plant on that hand. Open the chest. Get that low back set and lift. 2, 3, 6. Keep pushing those hips forward. 8, 9, 10. Whew. All right, one more set. On your back. Get into that glute bridge. Come on, legs. Here we go. Lift that one leg, tuck it in, push it out. 1, 2. If you want to put your hands on the ground, you can. 4. Sometimes that helps support in the back. 6. Just keep the work in the shoulder blades, that upper middle back, not into the neck, right? 2 more. Hold the knee all the way in, then set it down, and then come to the other side. Here we go. 1. Watch that supporting leg. It's going to want to kind of fold inside, right? Your foot and knee are going to want to pull to the midline. So try to kind of pull that knee out toward the pinky toe side of the foot. 8. I think I started rushing it this round. Slow it down. Feel those muscles engage. Lower those hips. Okay. Rotate, set it up. On the wall, on your elbow, or on the hand. Push those hips forward. Let's get our setup and go. Pull through the heel. 4. Try to keep that bottom hip and glute still. 8, 9, and 10. Feel that belly button drag up and tuck in. It changes the whole torso trunk connection. Doesn't matter if you're on the floor or on the wall. Get that all engaged. Open those hip flexors. 6, 7, 8. Belly strong. 10. Whew, okay, let's stretch it out a quick second. Hinge back. Heels right underneath your hips. Stretch to the back, shoulders. Okay, nice work. Next up, we're going to be getting a little bit more into the core. We're going to do supported leg lowers and a windshield wiper. If you don't have a chair or a bench or a table or a couch or someone's legs that you can hug behind you, grab some heavy weights or some dumbbells. And otherwise, you honestly don't have to have something to support. Just kind of helps you set in and make sure that your upper body is flexed in and supporting as opposed to crunching up into the neck. So this is what a leg lower is going to look like. Both legs will come up. If you're tight, it'll look more like this. That's okay. Just try to straighten through the legs as much as you can. Remember, doesn't matter how low the legs go, you have to get that low back smacked into the ground. So you only lower your feet so far as the low back stays in the ground. So we're going to go 10 of those. From here, you can keep your legs straight. I'm going to bend them because I'll run into the wall, and you're going to do a windshield wiper side to side. So the arms are going to come out on the side, and we're going to go 10 each side for those windshield wipers. So big core round. Head stays on the ground. If you want to lift the head, if you like how that engages the core more, you're welcome to. Otherwise, pull those toes up. See if you can kind of grab some traction with the upper body, set into that upper back. Grab the core. So right now my core is already heated. Okay, don't just wait for the lift. Contract deep and then pull back up. Chances are by our 5th round, our low back may be coming off the ground. So you won't get as low. You don't want that low back to come off the ground. It's not okay. Check in, scoop through that belly. 7, 8, flex deep into that abdomen. 9, 10. All right, bend those knees, arms come wide. So as you drop over, you're in control. Use the front of the belly and that oblique on the top side to pull the knees back up. Keep your knees together. Keep your legs and feet flexed. Tighten in deep, deep, deep. Now, if you notice here, we're also getting that twist in that thoracic spine. We've been working on our mobility through the mid-back. So that low back, remember, is stable. It is moving with the hips and legs. The mid-back is where the twist comes from. Grab through that oblique. And the upper back stays stable on the ground as well. 3, 2, flex it in nice and tight. Be in control as it drops. And 1. I kind of noticed I was just letting it drop and only contracting to bring it back up. So watch both directions. All right, here we go. The leg lower. Set it in. Flex through that core. Get your legs as flexed as you can, but we're focusing on that belly. This is 4. Trying to still keep that belly button tacked down. Stay relaxed through that neck. 8. 2 more. I remember once in basketball, this is 10. We're going to go to our windshield wipers. In basketball, our coach had us hold on to our partner's legs, and then we'd throw the legs down to the ground, and my back hurt so badly the next day. That was a good lesson for me in not just getting from point A to point B, but getting it done right, correctly. Luckily, my dad does quite a lot of working out. He gave me the quick tip on not letting that low back take the work. But this kind of reminds me of that the legs going to the ground. Press those knees toward one another. These are definitely adding up. You're using those arms to stabilize and help a little, but try not to overuse them, right? Get into that core. 3, 2, stay flexed and nice and tight. Last one each side. That low belly grabs. And 1. All right, legs go back up. Grab through that support that you have. 1, 2, 3. If your legs can still go super low, great, go for it. 5. But remember, it's about that core, not just getting range and getting it done. Stay safe. 9. 10. Whew. Back to those windshield wipers. Drop it over, set it in. Stay in control. Flex through those feet. If you need to stop and take a break, stop and take a break, and then just come back. That's totally fine. 4. Dig deep through that belly. Grab into those obliques. 7. Knees come up right over those hips. Watch in and see, are they tucking in toward the chest? Because that makes it a little easier. Last one. Okay, 2 sets to go. I need a second. Whew. The abs are on fire. All right, grab a hold of your support. Flex through that core. Here we go. Oh my goodness. 1. 3. Grab through that low portion, right? Right in between the belly button and pubic bone. Incorporate that a lot. 7. Goodness. 8. 9. 10. All right. Make that tabletop. Here we go, side to side. These last 2 sets, we're going to go 10 total instead of 10 each side. Kind of running low on time. Guess I was a little ambitious in what I thought we could get done. That's okay. That burn is still indicative that we're getting plenty done. Last one. All right, we have our last set. Flex into that core. Here we go. Last set. Oh my goodness. 1. Keep it safe, that low back on the ground. 4. Relax in the neck, slide those shoulder blades down. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Tuck it in, flex it strong. 10. Whew. Hopefully nothing in your low back or your neck. Side to side, 10 total. 1. 2. Flex those feet, knees stay together. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Whew. All right. Rock and roll your way up. We're going to take a quick little stretch. I think this last set should go pretty fast. We're going to do shoulder taps and mountain climbers. Okay, put your elbows on the ground for me really quick. Just pull the chest forward, stretch through that core. Wow. Okay, so your shoulder taps, plank and tap each shoulder, 10 each side, and then we're going to do 10 mountain climbers. I'm going to see how many I can go without taking a break. I'm not sure if I'll get through all 5 sets. It's probably going to be a little bit of the mind taking over from the body. So if you are not going to be doing the shoulder taps, I'm going to have you stand and you're just going to give shoulder pulls. Okay, nice and controlled for as long as I'm doing my shoulder taps. And then you're going to keep tension on your band and you're going to do standing mountain climbers here. Arms up and over if you can. All right, those will be 10 each side. Whew. Here we go. Shoulder taps, shoulders up over those wrists, core engages. It's already on fire. Ready, set, go. 1. 7. Flex the glutes, you're not wobbling. 10, mountain climbers. 8, 9, 10. And shoulder taps. Mountain climbers. 8, 9, 10. Shoulder taps. Flex those glutes. Mountain climbers. 2, 3. Keep those shoulders up over the wrist. 8, 9, 10. Whew. 5. We're in set 4. Mountain climbers. Come on, fight for it. Fight with me. 9, 10. Whew. I need a down dog. My core more than anything. Last set. 2. 8, 9, 10. Run those mountain climbers. 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. All right. Come down. Give me that quick child's pose. Let your abs, shoulders relax a bit. And then we're going to lie back on our backs. Well done. That slow build up. And then a burst there at the end. Nicely done. Okay, lift your right leg. See if you can grab behind your thigh or behind the calf or your laces, wherever. But push that back of the knee away from you. So if your leg's way out here, it's fine. Whew, breathe in. Get that stretch though through the hamstring. Release your hands a second. Let your leg lower all the way down. Pull it all the way back up. Bend your knee. Hug it in. Straighten it and then stretch again. 5 big breaths. Okay, that same leg, keep it up. Extend the left leg long onto the ground. Support your right leg with your left hand and slowly let it drop over. Now, if keeping your leg in your hand doesn't work for you, no big deal. Just have that leg drop over wherever it will. But try to keep it mostly straight. And that right arm is going to be out on the ground, trying your best to push that right shoulder into the ground. So I'm not always able to keep that shoulder in the ground. I really think that the extra mobility work that we've been doing is helping to open my shoulders and give me more flexibility and movement range in my mid-back, because that is where we're rotating from, that mid-back right now. Okay, 2 options. You can bend your knee and rotate back in, or keep your legs straight. Cross that ankle over the opposite knee. Pull from behind that left thigh. 2 deep breaths. There's 1. Flex both feet. Try to push your hips into the ground. You may be way out here, and that's fine. You may want to keep your foot on the ground. That's fine. Wherever your body is. Okay, we're gonna hit up that other side. Right foot on the floor, left leg comes up. If you have a strap or a towel, that can also be very helpful to give you a little bit more range. Grab behind the calf or the thigh. I know I'm a little more flexible maybe than some. So don't worry about where I'm at. Just try to get where you feel that stretch. You can also use a wall, a post, a friend, your child. Just be careful. The children like to push a little more than you may be ready for. All right, so we're going to lower that leg all the way down. Bring it back up. Tuck it in. Hug it nice and tight into the chest. Straighten it again and see if you get any more range. But watch what's going on with that pelvis and those hips. So try your best to keep them level and squared off to the ground. Two more deep breaths here. Okay, and then we're going to shift over, extend your right leg long on the ground, and let the left leg drop over. Support it kind of with your right arm. You can hold that thigh with the right hand, kind of support it here. You can bend the knee if you want. Remember, wherever it ends up and makes your leg feel happy is where it needs to be. It doesn't need to be this far up. It doesn't need to be straight. You just need to feel that stretch going on in the left glute. Left arm out on the ground. Notice here how you feel in that upper body, that shoulder cavity on this side compared to the other. Much more range on this side, flexibility, than I do on the other side. Always interesting to note. Your body has constant feedback. All right, bend that knee in. You can bend it in or straighten it up. Cross that knee over, or cross your ankle over the other knee. If you're out here and just letting the knee drop away, great. You can try bringing the legs up, interlacing your hands behind the right knee, and then pulling the legs into the chest. Again, try to flatten through that upper back, flatten through that pelvis and low back. Release here. We're going to come up to a quick butterfly stretch. Put the soles of the feet together. Lift up out of the chest by putting your hands behind the back. Push the chest forward. Feeling my core and abs already. Your abs are pretty topical, right? What creates your six pack? Rectus abdominis on the front. You have your obliques. But deeper inside is the core, right? All the way through the trunk, what's going on with the upper back, even into the glutes, muscles around the pelvis. So that your pelvic floor, that's the core. Those are deeper underneath, so necessary. All right, let's come into a low squat. If you can, get those heels on the ground. Great work, you guys. Nice start to our third week. Remember, we are working on a morning routine. So reach out to me if you want some ideas, if you want some accountability, if you want to know what I do. But building a routine that helps set you up for a positive and powerful day is super awesome. And it's inspiring for those around you. So give it a shot. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.